Welcome to my YouTube channel. I, Dr. Suman Jain, welcome you and thank you very much for subscribing. I have now 98 subscribers. So now today we start with a molecular biology topic, that is transcription in eukaryotes, transcription in prokaryotes. You can also watch that lecture before this so that you will understand better. So now we start with transcription in eukaryotes. So first we say that how genetic information is flowing. So genetic information is from DNA to RNA and then from RNA to protein synthesizing. This DNA to RNA is taking place inside the nucleus, whereas this messenger RNA then transfers out and in the ribosomes in endoplasmic reticulum. On the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes are present where protein synthesis takes place. So genetic information transfers from DNA to RNA and then to protein synthesizing machine. Then we come to the introduction. What is DNA transcription? So we have seen that the synthesis of RNA from DNA is called transcription. All eukaryotic cells have 5 major types of RNA: ribosomal RNA, messenger RNA, transfer RNA, small nuclear RNA and micro RNA. The first 3 are involved in protein synthesis, while the rest, small nuclear RNA, is involved in splicing and regulating gene expression. Then what is template strand? The template strand, you know what is this? This is a strand from which the RNA is synthesized. The DNA has 2 strands, that one is known as coding strand and the another one is template strand. The coding strand has the same sequence what the new messenger RNA is synthesizing, whereas the template strand is that strand from which the new messenger RNA encodes it. So the this template strand, it runs from 3' to 5', whereas coding and this new messenger RNA it is running from 5' to 3'. Then the information in the template strand is read out from 3' to 5' direction, whereas in ribonucleotide sequence, which is complementary to the sequence of DNA, it is known as template strand, or it is coding strand. When it has a complementary strand, the sequence is same as that of primary transcript. So now you can see from the diagram that DNA coding is A, T, C, C. The same coding is present in messenger RNA, new messenger RNA, what is synthesized, that is known as primary transcript, whereas the template has the or anticodon sequence, you can see. So this is same, the coding sequence is similar to the new synthesized messenger RNA, only the difference lies instead of this thymine there are uracils. You can see here it is TT, here it is UU, that is thymine is replaced by uracil as thymine is absent in messenger RNA. Now we come to the transcription unit. You can see the transcription unit is what? It is a region of DNA that includes all the signals for initiation, elongation and then termination. All these signals what are present in the DNA, that is known as transcription unit. Now DNA dependent RNA polymerase is the enzyme which is responsible for the polymerization of RNA into a sequence complementary to the template strand of the gene. The enzyme attaches at the specific site, the promoter site, that is on the template site. So these are the promoter sites on which the specific signals are there, and RNA polymerase binds on this promoter region. Now the primary transcript. You can see the new primary transcript is what the RNA product, what is synthesized, is from 5' to 3'. It is known as primary transcript. 5' terminals of primary RNA transcript and the mature cytoplasmic RNA are identical. the starting point of transcription corresponds to 5' nucleotide of the messenger RNA. You can see now what is upstream and downstream. So downstream with the positive charge. When the positive charge increases, it is downstream, and when the negative charge increases, it is the upstream. So these two things are there. This is designated position of +1 as in the corresponding nucleotide in the DNA. The number increases as the sequence proceeds, that is downstream. The nucleotide in the promoter adjacent of the transcription initiation site is designated as -1 when the negative number increases as the sequence proceeds. This is upstream. This provides the conventional way of defining the location of regulatory elements in the promoter. So now in eukaryotic RNA polymerase, we have seen that in prokaryotic RNA polymerase there were 2 alpha, 1 beta, 1 beta dash, 1 omega, and the sigma last, which completes the holoenzyme. But in eukaryotic polymerase, RNA polymerase, we have 3 RNA polymerase, not only 1. In prokaryote it was only 1. These RNA polymerase are type 1, type 2 and type 3. Type 1 is also known as A, type 2 is known as B, and type 3 is known as C. Type 1 is responsible for synthesis of ribosomal RNA, type 2 is responsible for the synthesizing of messenger RNA. This is the main type of RNA polymerase. Then type 3 is C, which is responsible for the production of transfer RNA. Now RNA polymerase 2 is the main enzyme which is involved in the transcription and forms messenger RNA that are translated into proteins. These enzymes are multiple units. With 500 to 600 kilodalton. The RNA2 has 12 subunits. It is activated by phosphorylation of serine and threonine amino acid present in that enzyme protein. It interacts with transcription factor to form initiation complex. Then now come to the promoter regions. In RNA, in the prokaryotes, we have seen that there are 2 promoter regions, that is Tata box, which was known as Pribnow box, and 35-35 sequence. But in eukaryotic promoter regions it is known as Hogness box. It is not Pribnow box. It is located 25 to 30 base pairs, and it is only 8 to 10 nucleotide, that is TA, AAA 3' sequence, whereas the -35 sequence, it is the second consensus nucleotide sequence, which is from TTGACA. It is about 35 base to the left starting point. Then another promoter regions are Cat box, which is typically a DNA element, elements are GC and CAAT boxes, also named as DNA sequences involved. The regulation occurs by binding of specific protein and factors to this site. Then there are also enhancers and silencers. Enhancers increases the rate of transcription, whereas silencer reduces the rate of transcription. There are also hormone specific response elements. HRE are sites used by the hormone to regulate transcription. There are also tissue specific gene expression element which are specific in the tissue, like albumin synthesizing in liver. There it can be. So these also are present. Then now eukaryotic transcription also has the 3 steps, that is initiation, elongation and termination, which is in prokaryotes also. But initiation, you see there is a formation of pre-initiation complex. This is not equivalent to sigma factor, which was in prokaryote. Now here we have many factors like transcription factor 2A, B, C, D, E, F and H. These take part in pre-initiation complex formation. This initiation complex formation, there are 2 theories according to which they say that the pre-initiation complex is assembled. The first theory is stepwise assembly, and the second is recruitment holoenzyme. Stepwise assembly says that all the transcription factors are attaching step by step. like first this is coming, then this RNA polymerase 2 comes, then H factor comes, then E, and in this way they attaches. But in recruitment holozyme they say that the complete, all the factor consist of a complete holozyme, and it doesn't attach sequentially, but they perform holozyme and GTF complex is recruited to the promoter to initiate transcription. The role of various factors is in the recruitment of the complex to the promoter. They all have anchoring RNA polymerase 2 to DNA binding domains. There are different functions of these all factors. Then the formation of open complex, the strand initiation and promoter clearance. Then the transcription factor 2H has helicase activity that promotes unwinding of DNA. So DNA bubble formation is there, and that is near the start point. This leads to the formation of open complex. Now the complex becomes open, so unwinding of DNA takes place. It also has a kinase activity that causes phosphorylation and RNA polymerase 2, leading to its activation and initiation of the transcription. Now the role of, it also has a role in nucleotide accession repair in RNA transcript. So nucleotide accession repair, it repairs itself. So if there is any genetic alteration, then this nucleotide accession repair, this factor repairs itself, like the disease, that is xeroderma pigmentosa, that is because of the DNA repair error. Then RNA polymerase 2 activation. It is a complex, it consists of 12 subunits. 2 subunits are homologous to same as bacterial, that is beta dash subunits. The largest subunit has a series of serine rich repeats of heptad consensus sequence, that is tyrosine, serine, proline, threonine, serine, proline and serine in the carboxyl terminal. These all amino acids are attached to the carboxyl terminal. This carboxyl terminal has a repeat domain and has 52 repeats. This carboxyl terminal repeat domain undergoes several modifications like glycosylation, phosphorylation, etc. When this all modification takes place, then transcription factor 2HE, they get separated from there, and now it is a promoter clearance. Now the only RNA polymerase 2 which moves along the DNA downstream and start the synthesis of RNA. Now we can see the overview here. So this is the coding strand, this is the template strand, and the first what happens here is initiation. In initiation, that is RNA polymerase 2 that attaches to the here we have seen that it is prokaryotic. The same way it happens here also, it attaches, and in this way the initiation takes place, and elongation is similar to that of prokaryotes. Initiation, only the difference is that this RNA polymerase, this is not present, that is RNA polymerase 2 is present with so many factors, it attaches here and start initiation complex. Then termination also, in prokaryote this was raw factor, but here in eukaryotic nothing is identified. We don't know what signals are used for termination. Then now we start with the initiation of transcription. The initiation of transcription involves the binding of the RNA polymerase holoenzyme to the promoter region, and it forms a pre-initiation complex. You can see these all initiation factors, transcription initiation factors are present, E, F and H, and so these are attached with an RNA polymerase 2. This is the pre-initiation complex. Then it binds to the promoter region, and here promoter region it binds and new RNA is transcribed. Now binding of RNA polymerase to the promoter region is followed by a conformational change. Then RNA polymerase and the first nucleotide then associate with the initiation site on the subunit of the enzyme. In the presence of that appropriate nucleotide, RNA polymerase catalyzes the formation of a phosphodiester bond, and the nascent chain is now attached to the polymerization site on the subunit of RNA polymerase. Then in prokaryote and eukaryote, a purine ribonucleotide is usually the first to polymerize. Then 10 to 20 nucleotides have been polymerized. In this way, it undergoes second conformational change, which leads to promoter clearance. Then after promoter clearance, then elongation starts. So this is the indication for elongation. Now first we see the processing. Here it is the upstream. This is the promoter region where transcription starts. This is the downstream. This is termination. Here is the starting. It increases like this from, that is the 3' to 5', and the new transcript will be from 5' to 3', and then post translational modifications are there which ultimately synthesize RNA. That is the capping and tailing and splicing, and this all causes RNA processing. Then the elongation, as the promoter region is detached from there, then the elongation complex containing the core of RNA polymerase progresses. Now RNA polymerase only remains there, and two-factor transcription initiation, transcription factors second H and second F are removed, and which starts elongation. And DNA unwinding must occur in order to provide access to the appropriate base pairing and nucleotide of the template strand. The extent of transcription bubble is a constant throughout, and it is about 20 base pairs per polymerase molecule. Then this RNA polymerase has associated with an unwindase enzyme activity, which opens the DNA helix, and RNA it leads to, and isomerase, topoisomerase both precedes the following by progressing RNA polymerase to prevent the formation of superhelical complexes. Base pairing rule is followed during the incorporation of ribonucleotide. So here base pairing starts. This is the new RNA that starts from 5' and then ultimately to 3', and base pairing, you can see this is the hybrid where base pairing is there with the template strand, which is from 3' to 5'. These are nucleotides which are attached here to start the transcription. And the termination signals, now we in prokaryotes we have seen that there are termination signals, that is Rho dependent and Rho independent, but in eukaryotic we don't know any signals yet now. Beyond, we can only say that there are some modification taking place for the transcription depends on the RNA, which RNA is to be synthesized. There can be some USC strings formation, hair loop formation, hairpin-like structures formation that only can transcript. After the termination of synthesis of RNA molecule, the enzyme separates from DNA template, and with the assistance of another factor, the core enzyme then recognizes a promoter at which the synthesis of a new RNA molecule commences. Then eukaryotic transcription is not as easy as prokaryotic. It requires some specific mechanism, and regulation of transcription differ between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. This is a far complicated process than prokaryotes. Then in post-translational modification, detailed post-translational modification we have in our next video. You can watch there in detail. Here I will only explain that there are some processing which takes place for post-translational modification, like RNA polymerase 1 and RNA ribosomal RNA molecule is synthesized from that. In that, the three different molecules, that is 28S RNA, 5.S RNA, 18S RNA are synthesized. They are broken into these three, this RNA polymerase 1, and in this way ribosomal genes are located in the nucleolar region and they synthesize ribosomal RNA. And transfer RNA processing requires RNA polymerase 3, which is it is trimmed to 5' and 3' end to form a mature transfer RNA. At 3 amino acid sequence CCA is added at 3' end, and at 5' end it is trimmed, which is known as also a ribozyme. In this way, transcription in eukaryotic is finished, but we can also say about the inhibitors. Inhibitors you can check from prokaryotic transcription, the first video, but I can just only name you one, that is rifamycin, the drug which is used in the treatment of tuberculosis. It inhibits prokaryotic RNA, prokaryotic and RNA polymerase 2, and it by binding it to the beta subunit and inactivates it. Actinomycin D, it inhibits RNA polymerase 2 both in bacteria and in eukaryotes. It is anti-cancer drug. And also the alpha-amanitin, that is a mushroom which causes poisoning, and it also starts gastroenteritis that rapidly progresses to liver failure. It also is leading to the RNA polymerase inhibition. It blocks the protein synthesis. In this way it inhibits. So all the three inhibitors, rifamycin, actinomycin D and alpha-amanitin, are inhibitors of eukaryotes also. So thank you very much for listening. You can also watch prokaryotic transcription, which will help you to understand this. Also the post-translational modification in eukaryotes, that will help you to complete eukaryotic transcription. And also you can watch a difference between eukaryotes and prokaryotes video. So all the 4 videos will help you to understand better transcription. Thank you very much.